Hi, my name is Kathy Fosno, and this is Kat's Creative Corner. Welcome to Tuesday's card. This is the card we're going to make today. Can you believe it? Yesterday was Easter, and today it was snowing outside. That's Northern Nevada for you. So I just felt like I needed to make a springy type card. So we're going to use the Circle of Spring stamp set, and we're going to use this wreath and the Hello Spring saying. We're also going to be using the hardwood stamp set for the background. Okay, we're going to start with a piece of Whisper White cardstock cut at 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4 and folded. We're going to take that piece of cardstock and we're going to use the hardwood stamp set and soft suede classic ink. Now, we're going to stamp it face down . Covering it all, and then I'm going to take in half the piece of Whisper White cardstock and center it on that stamp and then just press it down. Sometimes it's easier with the large cards to put it face down instead of trying to turn the stamp over. And there we have our stamped image. Close our, well, first we're going to take and sponge some of the places that didn't get stamped. Sometimes it's hard to get all of it when you are using such a big stamp. So I'm just going to put some of the soft suede around it so that you can use soft suede or crumb cake so that it just kind of looks like it's more used. Okay. That's all we need that for. So now we're going to set this aside for a few minutes, and we're going to bring out a piece of vellum. And we're going to use the wreath. Now, be aware of where the little tab is. I've shown you guys this before. There's a little tab that's at the top of it, and we're going to stamp so that we know when we go to use the framelit where to place the framelit. So we're going to use our StazOn. Make sure you get that all over good. And then we're going to put it with the tab straight up. We're going to press onto the piece of vellum. And didn't come out real good, so let's do it again. If I'd have used this, I'd have probably done better. So let me remember to use my piercing mat. Okay, we're going to try that one more time. You can't really use the other side of a piece of vellum since you can see through it. So we're going to try this one more time. Tab straight up. Press on our piercing mat. I always like to press around. And there it is, perfect. Okay, now we're going to take our Big Shot. Oh, first let's cover up our StazOn. StazOn is just a good product so that it doesn't rub off. Some of the other inks can rub off if you don't use the right kind of ink. You're sometimes sorry. So I'm going to use my magnetic platform and a plate and the wonderful wreath framelit set. In that framelit set, I'm going to use the big wreath and the little wreath, the center of the wreath. Now, we know that it was facing top, so we want the tab on the framelit also to the top, and if you'll notice, it fits in really pretty good right when you set it down if you have marked your spot well. Okay, and then we have the center one also with the top facing up. You have to be careful, even though it's magnetic, it can move a little bit, so you have to get it placed just right. So let's take it through the Big Shot. We're doing that a little off camera, and bring it back. I always like to bring it back, it just cuts a little bit better. Okay. And now we can set the Big Shot aside. And we have our wreath all cut out. It's kind of nice when you can do it all at the same time instead of one and then the center. Now, I'm going to take, and on the back side, and you can tell it's less shiny, on the back side I'm going to paint with my markers. I'm going to color in the green, all on the back, and all the way around. I'm going to use the daffodil. Oops, I like to use the pointy tip for these. Remember, your markers have two tips. One is a fat tip and one is a skinny tip, like more like a pin, and that's the one I'm using. So I would color my flowers all around. You can use the fatter tip for those bigger flowers. Okay, so just to save time, I went ahead and colored mine ahead of time. So it's all colored and ready to go. All right, and then we're going to cut with our itty bitty stamp set, or bitty punch, we're going to cut a butterfly. So that'll be ready for us. All right, then we have a piece of crumb cake, 3 inches by 3 inches. And a piece of Whisper White cardstock that is 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. We're going to stick that onto the crumb cake, getting close to the edges using our Snell adhesive. And we're going to center that right in the middle. You got to be quick if you're using Snell adhesive and you don't place it just right. You need to lift it really fast. And then we're going to take glue dots, and you see where we have the little flowers in the different places. That's a good place to stick our glue dots, so because they won't be seen when we're all done. So I'm going to take my glue dots and put one right in the center of that pink one. And 2 and 3. Okay, and then I'm going to set that up, let's see, right over the Whisper White paper. See that? Okay, now we're going to get fancy. We're going to take our, which I know I have on the table, I know they're in there, I saw them. Here they are. We're going to take our rhinestones, and I'm going to take 4 of the smallest ones, and I'm going to color them with an orange Sharpie. Okay. Orange Sharpies are made with alcohol base, and Stampin' Up! Products are made with water base, so this doesn't work with the Stampin' Up! Products, but it works great with a Sharpie. I'm going to take my piercing tool and put an orange center in each of my flowers that have a center, my little pink flowers in this case. And you can color these whatever color you want. It's just these seemed like spring to me. So that's the colors I used. See the little rhinestones. Okay. Now we're just simply going to put our crumb cake piece towards the top like that. Then I'm going to take some Old Olive Classic ink and the Hello Spring stamp from the Circle of Spring stamp set. And I'm going to go right in the middle and stamp Hello Spring. Okay. Now I'm going to take my little butterfly and I'm going to do 3 more. I think I'm going to do 3 of the ones that are on a string of the rhinestones. They hold together better that way. I'm going to cut them off, cut between those 3 and the rest. And then I'm going to lift that. Oh, didn't quite cut, so let me do it again. Well, there we go. Okay, I'm going to put these in the middle of the little butterfly that I punched earlier. And they'll hold together. Oh, one came off through all my manipulating, but that's all right. We'll manage. We'll just flip it over. Or not. We'll just use 2. I think we'll just use 2. There's a little residue sticking there. It's from the string. And we bend it a little bit. And then we use a glue dot. And I like to put it right at the base of the crumb cake and Whispered Vanilla cardstock piece. And then we're going to take our Project Life corner cutter, making sure we get it right, the ends on both sides of the paper along the guides. And we're going to cut, 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 cut. And there is our card. I hope you enjoyed this card. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to hop on over to my website, katscreativecorner.com, all with K's, and you'll get complete list of instructions and supplies for this card. Thanks for coming. Bye.